I just finished a belt build and wanted to do an overview video on my belt. So to start out, my belts are built from 2 layers of heavy-duty dive belt webbing. On the inside of my belt, I put loop Velcro. The dive belt webbing can be abrasive, and the loop Velcro on the inside adds a nice protective layer between the dive belt webbing and your waders or clothing. The loop Velcro also provides a spot where if you want an accessory built that you don't want to slide around the belt at all, I can build the accessory with hook Velcro on the inside of it so that it would adhere to the loop Velcro so the accessory would stay in a fixed spot on the belt. The buckle that I use on my belt requires you to push down both of the release latches on the buckle in order for the belt buckle to release. And it's kind of different from other style of buckles, like I believe they're called cop lock buckles, where there's a single button in the middle. When you push that down, the buckle will release. On this one, if you inadvertently push down on one of the buttons, the buckle won't release. So, for example, if you're swimming and climbing up on a rock or something, and the rock pushes one of those buttons, the buckle's not going to come undone on you. It requires you to push both of these buttons simultaneously, and then the buckle releases. Underneath the buckle, that's where I put my logo. It's hidden, it's not right out in plain view, so for those of you who don't like to advertise products, it's nice and hidden. So after you release the buckle, you can see that I have a section of webbing here where the tag end of the belt slips through. And what this does is that if you have your belt adjusted out further, that webbing that's there provides rigidity to the belt so that the tag end of the belt isn't flipping up and down. It gives a nice way to capture that tag end of the belt. So my belts have 10 inches of adjustment. This belt was built for someone who has around a 32-inch waist. So I built this belt to adjust from around 30 inches out to 40 inches. It gives them some room to cinch the belt down very tightly, and it also gives room for winter weather, early spring, so that the belt will be able to accommodate layers of clothing. A little pro tip here: some people who only fish their belt in a certain season will be able to determine where their belt is best suited for their size. So let me explain what I mean about that. So I'm around a 31-inch waist, so I'm going to show you how this belt adjusts to my body, and I'm going to loop back to talk about the pro tip that I was going to give you for people who only fish their belt in a certain season. So I put the belt on, slip the tag end through that webbing loop. Now, in the back of the belt here, there's a piece of adjustment webbing. I loosen that webbing up. I buckle the belt buckle, and then I take that adjustment webbing and cinch down the belt. So that belt is now fit to me. It sits nice on my hips. It's going to support the weight of any accessories that I'm carrying on there. And when I take this belt off, the next time that I put it on, it's already set to my waist size. I don't need to do any further adjustments or anything like that. It's all set. If nothing else changed, it's there. So the pro tip that I was talking about is that, for example, if I always fished in lightweight clothing and never, my weight didn't fluctuate, or I didn't wear jackets, heavy jackets and stuff like that, I might want to just keep the belt at this size and eliminate some of the tag end of the belt. So let me take this off and show you what I mean. So when I insert this through, the tag end of the belt is probably about, I would say, around 8 inches, 9 inches of tag end of belt there. And that can hamper rotating accessories around your belt. They can get hung up on that tag end. So some people will take and use a hot knife and cut that tag end off so that it goes through the adjustment webbing there, and then just cut the tag end off and melt the edges with a hot knife. And then you can eliminate some of that excess belt that's in your way, or that can be in your way. Now, if you are fishing this belt in spring, summer, fall, winter, you're probably going to want close to the full 10 inches of adjustment range that I give you on the belt. But it's usually more than enough adjustment range, so most people can get away with heating up a hot knife and cutting off some of the tag end of the belt if they want to. I build my belts robust, so you can really see that there's a fair amount of stiffness to this belt. And the reason I do that is that when you have heavy items, you really start to drag down on your belt. If you have a wimpy single layer belt, that's going to start to fall down your hips, and it's not going to be as comfortable. That's why I do my belts as robustly as I do. My belts come standard with black stitching, but as you can see, this customer wanted their belt built with offset white stitching so that it would match the bag that I built for them. Below this video, in the About section, I'll post a link to my belt quote and order form. And that form has my belts listed on there. And it also has all of the dedicated accessories that I built that have belt loops only. For example, on my bag form, I don't list all of my belt loop only accessories just to minimize clutter on the forms. So the belt form lists all of my belt loop only accessories that I offer. Also, in the comments, please let me know if there's other videos that you'd like to see me record on my accessories or bags. I'm working on a number of different bag videos, many of which are already filmed, but this is my first video that I'm doing on accessories. So if there's something in particular you want to see a video on, let me know. I appreciate it, and thank you very much for watching.